Budete mať ešte príležitosť určite užiť si Žanet v tej ďalšej časti, ktorá príde. Máme ešte dvoch ľudí, ktorí by chceli hovoriť o zmene, o tej svojej osobnej. Prichádza medzi nás Kristin, ktorá je z Ameriky. Hovorí o sebe, že teda, ja som sa pýtal, čo mám povedať, on hovorí, že no však som štíhla, mladá, krásna, som z New Yorku. Prichádza ozaj jedna veľmi krásna, usmiatá osoba medzi nás, Kristin Parpel, ktorá bude hovoriť aj o takej veľmi podobnej veci ako Laci strajk, možno ako ja som prežívala, to je o vyváženosti určitých hodnôt v živote. Tak Kristin, nech sa páči.
But the first thing I'd like to say is, as I was sitting and listening to the other speakers, I was taking notes and saying, yes, I agree with that and that as well. And just listening to you say thank you for inviting us. It made me sit and take some time and think about what change means and when change is needed and why we have to make the time to change. And some things came to my head right away, but it made me sit down, which I don't do often. I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, I'm working, we're building a house, you get busy. And so this was really a gift for me to be able to come. So first I'd like to say thank you. And I would like to start with something to change or not to change. Tonight we're discussing, do we change, why do we change, how do we change? I remember about 15 years ago I was running an advertising agency in Prague, and we had every quarter managers meetings with all of the country managers and our CEO. And our CEO, this big German guy, Helmut Matthijs, got up and he said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I was about 26 at the time, and I thought, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Are we not supposed to do anything? Are they so happy that our numbers are so good, we should just let everything go? And then I thought, how should I take this? We were doing a good job, and years later, as time goes on and I got older, I understood what he was saying to us. And he was saying, especially, as someone pointed out earlier, in the world of advertising, if you don't continue to change, you will die. You need to keep moving. You need to be prepared for what is potentially ahead of you. And now when I think about change, I think about what it is that changes me, what it is that causes me to make a change in my life. And there's a few things I'd like to share with you. For change, these are the 3 things that I think for me personally have been the most important. Number 1 is to learn from your experiences. And I'll talk about it a little bit more, but your experiences are what we do every day. I've already changed many things in my mind since the hour I've been sitting here, listening to the other speakers, taking in thoughts, things that they've said that were important to me, that made sense to me. It changes me. It will make a change in my future, in my life, the way I live my life. The second one is to embrace unexpected change. We all have situations that happen, which are tragic, which are sad, which are unexpected, which are frustrating. And it's easy to get stuck there and say, oh, it's terrible, now I don't know what I'm going to do. But you have to have the courage and the hope to believe that something good is going to come out of it. And the third one is to think about your path. We all have goals. We all have things we want to do, but we need to stop sometimes and take time to focus on what it is. Why do you think companies spend so much time and money creating mission statements and visions? They do it because it works. And if you can do that with yourself, that is going to help you as well. So, the more you experience, the more you learn. This is actually my absolute favorite picture of myself, because I know how I feel when that picture was taken. This is me 10 years ago in Cambodia. Anyone who was at the last event, or the last event where I spoke at, knows that I took a year off to travel around the world 10 years ago. And that was a very, very important trip for me. And the main reason was that I gained a huge gift, and a gift was the gift of perspective. I traveled in many third world countries, and I saw people who didn't have food, they didn't have water. I mean, these beautiful children, they don't have clothes, but they smiled, and I showed up, and they came to my arms, and they wanted to touch me, and they wanted to touch my hair, and they wanted to look at my eyes, and it was so humbling You know, I had been working really hard in the advertising world, you know, lots of money, lots of stress, lots of trouble, not time for friends, not time for family, nothing. It was my life. And then all of a sudden you show up in a place like this, and you jump out of the back of the pickup truck, which we were taking to Cambodia from Thailand, and these children come around you, and they are happy from just seeing you. And it is so uplifting, and it was a gift. And for me, travel, and when I say travel, I don't mean traveling to Italy and France and all of these beautiful places, but seeing people who live differently has given me a gift of always remembering that no matter how hard I think my life is, I got a pretty great life. But when I talk to you or I share with somebody experiences, I mean thinking about the experiences you have every day. When you see somebody who does something kind, and you say, wow, that was really nice. That was really impressive. That's something that maybe I should think about doing. Or you see someone who is not kind to somebody and say, that was really awful. Think about these things, take them in, and maybe write them down. If you can't make a mental note of it, write them down someplace. And remember what those things are important to you. Those are the things that mold you as a person. Now, I want to share with you one very important gift in my life, and it's this girl by the name of Ali Stroker. And I met Ali the day she was born because I was very good friends with her mother, and I had been babysitting her younger brother. Her father was one of my teachers at high school. And Ali and her family were a second family to me when I was in high school. And at the age of 2 years old, Ali and her family were in a very serious car accident. And her brother had a very bad head injury, and Ali was paralyzed from the chest down. Now, this is a situation which, to this day, I often cry talking about it. I'm not going to stand up here and cry. But how could anything good come out of something so awful, so sickening, so upsetting, to see 2 children so injured? And I spent the next 3 years of my summers at university working with Ali and her brother, helping them get back to normal life, what would be their new normal. And it was inspiring. It was inspiring to see a child of 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, say to me at dinner, we would sit and have dinner together, and we'd have a prayer before dinner, and she'd say, "Dear God, please make my brother healthy." And she wouldn't think about herself that she was in a chair. And I grew up in a place where we had lots of sports, and people were very active, and you'd play with the neighbors, and she couldn't do any of these things. She couldn't go over to the neighbor's house. She couldn't run around and play basketball and softball. So we found together, or shall I put her parents gave her a lot of attention and love, and she started singing, and she started performing, and she was cute and she was wonderful. And this is something that made her feel really great. And she worked hard and really hard, and this became the focus of her life. This became her path, because there were many things she couldn't do, but this is something she could do. And 2 years ago, she graduated from a very prestigious university in New York called the Tisch School of Music at NYU. She was the first student to graduate who was in a wheelchair. And the reason why is many of the courses that she has to take, which are a requirement, are dancing courses. And they'd never had anybody who took dancing courses in a wheelchair. She said, no, I'm going to do it. And the teachers worked with her and the students worked with her. And she graduated, and she gave her speech at graduation. I believe it was at Yankee Stadium in New York. And she is now a performer. And this girl has given me such a gift. Every time I think, I'm tired, or this doesn't look good, or I think, what? Stop. I am healthy. I have my health. And look at her. And she is such an inspiration to me. This summer, she took me out. I was in New York. She called me. She said, "Oh, Kristin, it's your birthday. I'm coming to pick you up for breakfast." I said, okay. She comes in her little red car, and she picks me up. She takes me out for breakfast. She's parking in the parking lot. And I said, "You can't park here." And she looked at me, and she started laughing, because there was a handicap spot. And I don't even think of her as having any disability. And when we were having breakfast, she was telling me, she had gone out to California for a few months to look for work, and she went to this camp for disabled people to learn to surf. very typical Allie going surfing in a wheelchair. So she goes surfing and she meets this other girl who was a dancer, and she was recently paralyzed. And they became friends, and this girl kept talking about, I am going to learn to walk again. I am going to find a way to walk again. And Allie said to me, I thought it was such a strange conversation. The only thing I want to do is be a performer. Because for her, her wheelchair is part of her. She has accepted that. And so it's important to know what your vision is. And the vision of her friend who wants to walk again, that's not a bad vision, but it's a different vision. So they're both working together to reach something else. Create your life vision. When we talk about reaching your true north, what is your true north? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? How are you going to get there? You guys are at the best time of your life. We were talking on the car over here from the hotel today. You got the world ahead of you. You're either still in school or you're just finishing. You can do whatever you want. You have nothing holding you back. Enjoy it. That's when I took my backpack and I went to Prague, and I was just going to hang out for a few months, and then I met my husband, and I'm still there. But, it is your time. The sky is the limit. Experience, travel, do things. And if you do something and you hate it, great, you learned that you hate it. That's not bad. Negative experiences help you grow as well. And so my advice to you, if I can say it's even advice, is that if you think to yourself, what it is I want in my life, what is it, the one thing that I really want? I want to go to the moon. I want to be a dancer. I want to be a singer. I want to have 6 children. I want to travel the world. What is it? What is that one thing that you want? And think about it. When do I want to get there? How am I going to get there? Or do I want to try many things? Do I want to do everything? Well, let's be realistic. What can you actually handle? Your life is in your hands now. So it's up to you. I believe that you can do everything. My struggle, for sure, is trying to do all the things I want to do. You know, balancing wanting to be a dancer, balancing my friends and my work and my life and a lot of charity work that I do. But it's all there, and the more you experience, the more you grow. Everybody know who this man is, and I was laughing because as I was looking at everyone's presentations, I'm taking notes. Yes, I have that in mind. Oh yes, I was thinking about that. But this is a quote that I love. Be the change you want to see in the world. And this is not to say, or this is to point out, rather, that we all have very different goals. And that's what makes life unique. And that's what makes the world an interesting place to be. There's no right or wrong. Think about what is important to you. And be willing to change it. Be willing to understand that, well, your goals in your 20s is to explore. Your goals in your 30s is to settle down. Your goals in your 50s, I don't know. It's on you. But think about what is really in the core that is important to you and learn how to reach it. Now, to end, I would love to sing a song for you. I'd love to dance for you, but I can't do either. So I have brought Allie with us. This is her singing in an audition for a TV show called Glee.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me a smile that true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Takhle s tím končím, já skoro brečím, to je šílený, já na tom se koukal už tolikrát, to vždycky to udělá stejný pro mě. Tak, já jsem to řekla špatný? Ne, jo, dobrý. Já jsem taky zapomněla, že jsem měla ještě míchat jako tu češtinu, takže na závěr bych ještě chtěla jenom říct, prostě, já nevím, proč se smějete, říkám špatný? Tak asi jsem měla dát celý v češtině, ne? Tak, zkoušíte všechno, všímnáte lidi, protože oni dávají jako opravdu ten hluboký, důležitý věci, které se učíme v životě. A jdete ven a užijte váš život a teďka nebojte se nic, máte celý život před sebou. Děkuji moc za čas.